I mean, well, let's touch on the fashion thing because that
Yeah,
was, I mean, at
the big
Spandau
part.
Ballet, we always thought, and as you, I refer back to the Dylan Jones book. A lot of people thought you were like upper class and just
Yeah,
snooty little bear, like who are these guys? Dress like like they're above it all.
Yeah.
But that was on purpose, or what? Or why don't you
Well,
touch on
no, let me tell you. Well, working class kids over here throughout one of my earliest memories is I grew up living next door to a pub, right? I mean, we have a lot of those over here.
I think, yeah, I think you have to. Isn't that mandatory?
And this was an old fashioned pub full of people who didn't, the generation that had come out of the war, they were pre-rock and roll. So it was an upright piano and they'd be singing things like roll out the barrel, like old Cockney music hall songs, right? Standards. But one night a month, they had a mod night. Now, this would have been 1966, something like that. And I'm a 6-year-old kid, and I can hear the scooters coming up the road. Scooters are like this, the things like in Quadrophenia that the mods drive.
Yeah, of course.
And I remember looking out of my bedroom window, and I could see the most incredible looking couples, guys wearing, suits, Italian looking suits and hush puppy shoes. And, I mean, I'm sure I didn't understand it all then, but I just remember how fantastic they looked. And all these scooters lined up brilliantly outside with their mirrors on. And, these are working class kids with no money, but they spend all of their money, everything they can make, even maybe if they're buying it on hock, they are buying these Italian modernist suits that Miles Davis had worn. That's why they called them mods, because Miles Davis was a modernist, jazz modernist. So, and then, growing up, in the 70s, I'm begging my mum to buy Ben Sherman shirts for me. Or I'm working in a greengrocer's and I'm trying to earn money, and all the money I get, I try and buy the latest pair of pants that are really cool and trendy. And, it's the soul boy scene that is very hip in the UK, in the southern parts of the UK, is black kids and white working class kids wearing fantastic high-waisted trousers, I mean, looking like Bowie, really, from that period, young Americans. So it was normal for white working class kids, I say white because that's, I shouldn't really, generalizing, for all working class kids to spend all of their money looking fabulous. Okay, so let's take the Teddy Boys, right? Because you say, oh, we look like upper class gentlemen. The Teddy Boys, which are the rock and roll kids that my dad maybe was just on the cusp of, who had quiffs, and this is coming out of the late 50s, early 60s.
John Lennon was the
Well, yeah. They were called Teddy Boys because they wore Edwardian coats. Teddy Edwardian, right? Teddy is a shortened for Edward. King Edward, Edwardian coats. They were wearing Edwardian frock coats, which were coats of the upper classes. So that's what they were taking on. They were saying, hey, I'm just as important. So, I think it's sometimes misleading unless you get the culture of that dressing up that the white working class kids have always been into here. Yeah.
Also, I apparently your mom also helped you out a lot. It's like some mohair jacket, or what how'd she help you out?
Well, no, the mohair. Oh no, I remember my dad taking me to a market when I was about 11. I'm begging him to get some mohair trousers, baggy mohair trousers, which sort of suede heads and skinheads were wearing. And of course, he took me to some tiny little tailor who was fantastic, and he made these trousers for me. I was very made up. But later, when we were at the Blitz Club, I remember, and I'm living at home with my parents, and I said, oh, I really want to. I've imagined these trousers that I want, Mum. And she was a seamstress, but I don't know if she's very good. And I drew these trousers on a piece of paper. I said I want them flat fronted and just cut out. I bought this material which was electric blue, and I said, just pegs, giant pegs I want. So she made these these trousers for me. They were quite tight. I got them on. I had to pin them together, and But she forgot to put any zippers in them and any flies. And I remember sort of going to the club and then going down to the toilet and just struggling to get them off. I couldn't get them off, and I had to go in a cubicle. I won't go any further.
Oh, please.